What's going on, guys? JSGC, and we've got Billy joining us today here for another Manchester City transfer update. If you are enjoying the content, don't forget to subscribe. Press that red button, press the bell and put your push notifications on. We're doing daily Manchester City transfer updates throughout all of the summer transfer window. We're less than 800 subs away from my goal of 25k subscribers, so any help towards that will be much appreciated. You want to stay up to date with all the latest Manchester City transfer news first and fast this summer every single day on YouTube, so make sure you have subscribed. Also, don't forget as well, social media links, they're in the description below and sliding across at the bottom of the screen if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter and Instagram. My email also in the description below too. If you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business enquiries, leave a thumbs up if you do enjoy this video. 500 likes once more is the aim, so any help towards that will be much appreciated. And also, most important, let me know your thoughts in the comments below, as I'm always addressing what you do have to say with regards to these transfers. On a last note, this video, it is sponsored and it is brought to you by OneFootball. This video is brought to you by OneFootball. If you want to download the OneFootball app, all you need to do is press the link at the top of my description, which will take you forward to where you can download this app. The OneFootball app is extremely useful if you are a huge football fan just like me. It provides you with the latest footballing news, transfer news, and the latest videos as well. It is one source of information of where I get my transfer news from. It also allows you to see the latest scores with what's happening in the footballing world. If you just click on a game, including any Manchester City game, it will not only bring up the latest team news, but it will also bring up the latest statistics and keep you up to date with everything happening in that game. If you want to download this app, all you need to do is press the link at the top of the description to stay up to date. Thank you very much to OneFootball for sponsoring this video. Go and check them out. It's a free app to download. We'll keep you up to date with all the latest transfer news for all the clubs from around the world. Link is in the description. Press that link. It's very important, as that does help to support the future content created here on my channel. That will take you to the download page to download OneFootball. So let's crack on then with this video. I'm going to put Billy Bob down here. He's getting very fidgety. There we go. And we're going to start off first with some contract news, and we're going to start off by speaking about Rodri. Now, Simon Mullock has said Manchester City, they are going to be looking to get Rodri onto a new long-term contract this summer for Manchester City, which in my opinion is great news. In my opinion, I thought Rodri was Manchester City's player of the season, deserves a new contract, deserves a new big contract with a big pay rise, in my opinion, so hopefully we can get that sorted. Moving on to the outs, we've got an update on Issa Kabore. Now, Not Live say that Issa Kabore is a target for Nottingham Forest this summer. They want to add him to their squad for their first season back in the Premier League. Apparently Nottingham Forest are seeing him as an alternative to Jed Spence. Kabore, he's contracted at Manchester City until 2025. It is believed that Nottingham Forest want him on a loan deal rather than a permanent transfer. So in my opinion, I think that'd be a very good deal, because it would give him Premier League experience. It'd give you a good idea about what level he's performing at, how he's doing, and also gives Manchester City some very important bits of information about, is he Premier League ready. So to me, that deal would make sense, and that would be a very good loan move. Now, speaking of loans, moving on, we're going to speak about Yan Couto. Now, Jogo in Portugal say that Braga once more want Yan Couto on a loan from Manchester City again for the coming season. Apparently, though, they also want a buying option included, which is much like what Sporting Club de Portugal did with Pedro Porro, where they chose to make that deal permanent, and obviously Braga are wanting to at some point make the loan deal for Yan Couto permanent by having that option to sign him permanently included in the loan deal, but they'd like him on another season-long loan. I could say it's them being cheap, but there isn't too much money knocking about in Portugal, so it'd give them an extra season to save up and make that decision about, is Yan Couto worth the investment, and that's seemingly looking like what Braga are looking for. Yan Couto did spend last season out on loan at Braga as well, so they know what he's capable of, they know what he can do. Normally not a real fan of a player having a same loan spell at the same club for 2 consecutive seasons, but if it's going to be made permanent, then I'm not going to disagree with it. Now moving on, we've got an update on Nathan Ake, and Phil Thomas at The Sun says Pep Guardiola does not want to lose Nathan Ake this summer, but he will not stand in his way should he want to leave. Now, Newcastle have expressed their interest once more with Manchester City, and what I found very interesting about this story is City and Newcastle have held short conversations so far this summer, and Manchester City have told Newcastle that if Nathan Ake says he wants to leave City, then they would be willing to listen to offers for him, but Manchester City, the price they're looking for is £50 million. Makes sense. Man City make a profit. We signed him from Bournemouth for £42 million. Gives us an £8 million profit on what we signed Nathan Ake for. I'm hoping we won't lose Nathan Ake, because I rate Nathan Ake. I think he's a fantastic football player. He's a player that I would like to keep at Manchester City, because I'm convinced that season on season he's going to continue to get better and better. And second half of this season, I think Nathan Ake has been very good for us, and so I'm confident he can really start to push on. But so it'd be a big shame to lose him, but we'll see. Now moving on, we've got an update on Gabriel Jesus. Now Mark Irwin at The Sun has said that Arsenal, they are growing in confidence that they can sign Gabriel Jesus this summer, on the back of Gabriel Jesus' comments about he wants to have a look at all the sporting projects on offer to him once international duty ends on Tuesday for him with Brazil. Now Jesus has said he wants his future sorting out ASAP once that international break ends. So he obviously doesn't want to have a summer holiday, wants his future sorting out, and Jesus could be sorted by the time June is out. Could either be a new contract at Manchester City or him going out elsewhere. Now Manchester City apparently are wanting £50 million for Jesus this summer. Arsenal, who are interested in signing Jesus, have said that that's very excessive, and they believe that a bid of £40 million could be enough to tempt Manchester City to sell. For me, I'd be looking, if Gabriel Jesus is to be sold and he won't sign a new contract and he does want to leave, I'd be looking to try and maximise as much money for him as possible. £40 million means we get a little bit of a profit. We signed him from Palmeiras for £36 million, so that'd give us a £4 million profit. I'd be trying to maximise and get as much money as possible. And I personally think £50 million in the going market is a reasonable ask. The only downside City have got here is he's got 1 year left on his contract, so obviously it limits the funds there about what we can ask for Gabriel Jesus, because if he had 2 or 3 years left on his contract, I'd be saying £60+ million. So £40 to £50 million probably does sound about right. If we can get that closer to £50 million, then I think that's a better deal for City than it would for Arsenal, and Arsenal will be saying to themselves, get it to around £40 million, that's a better deal for them, so might meet each other halfway and be around £45 million perhaps. I don't know, let me know, would you be happy with that in the comments below. Now moving on to the final story, Raheem Sterling. This is very, very interesting, very interesting. Now Simon Mullock at the Mirror has said that Raheem Sterling, he's debating running down his Manchester City contract next summer so he can leave for free. Now what Raheem Sterling wants is he wants a pick of clubs for him to choose from, not Manchester City to choose who he goes to, him to choose who he goes to. That means he would have to run down his contract at Manchester City to next summer. His contract is up in June 2023. Man City's stance is very clear. If he won't sign a new contract, Manchester City want to cash in this summer. Now Manchester City have a value of Raheem Sterling at £60 million according to Simon Mullock. Again, Man City looking for profit. We signed him for £50 million from Liverpool. That'd be a £10 million profit on Raheem Sterling. I don't think we'll get £60 million for him, if I'm completely honest. If we could get £51 million, £1 million profit, I think would probably be a deal that would suffice. The problem we've got is I just don't think Raheem Sterling right now wants to leave Manchester City. Now it is believed that Raheem Sterling, with the Winter World Cup in mind, he wants to stay at Manchester City because that's going to put him in the best position to be a starting 11 player in that England squad. Whereas if he moves and if he doesn't settle or doesn't hit the ground running, then it could jeopardise his starting 11 place with the England national team. He knows he's got it pretty good at Manchester City, so for him to run his contract down would make sense because Man City aren't selling to the highest bidder. It's Raheem Sterling picking whichever club he wants, because he might go for the club that's willing to pay him the most, he might be going to the club that's willing to give him the most playing time, or he might go to the most prestigious club. Who knows? But one thing we do know, Arsenal, Tottenham and Chelsea are all interested in signing Raheem Sterling. That does mean that Manchester City, if we can get a little bidding war going for Raheem Sterling, we could accumulate ourselves a lot of money for him. The problem is, Raheem Sterling doesn't want to go to any club based in England. He doesn't want to play in the Premier League for his next club. Raheem Sterling wants to chance his arm at a move to the continent and playing for one of the prestigious clubs in Europe, which I don't blame him. I think that'd be a very good move. I'm always actively encouraging English players to go abroad, to learn their trade, to learn different styles, different philosophies, going up against different teams, because not only does it benefit the national team when you're going up against these players from their other leagues on an international basis, but also you learn new things. You're going up against different styles and different players than what you would in the Premier League. And yes, the Premier League is a very good league, but La Liga, Liga 1, the Bundesliga, Serie A, they all possess their own little styles, their own little quirks and their own little learning experiences that if you go and do 2 or 3 seasons in these leagues, you can learn a lot. There's a reason why managers like to move around the leagues, because it tests their managerial abilities, and I see the same being for the football players as well. And it would make sense for Raheem Sterling to do that, that if there was clubs around Europe interested, like a Real Madrid, a PSG, a Juventus, a Barcelona, a Bayern Munich, or someone like that were interested in Raheem Sterling, these would all be very good moves for him. But the problem he's got is none of these teams right now are expressing any interest in signing Raheem Sterling. They've not got the funds to pay Manchester City for that, and Raheem Sterling sees himself the best possibility that he's got of making this happen is for him to run his contract down, and I can't imagine that will go down too well at Manchester City, particularly with the fans. However, I do think Manchester City, the football club itself, will be willing to use Raheem Sterling for an extra season. It's costing us £60 million, and so I don't think Manchester City are the kind of club that would just let Raheem Sterling, you know, move to one side because he's leaving for free. We've got nothing to gain there. City would use Raheem Sterling for their squad and just let him leave for free if that's what Raheem Sterling wanted. So we'll see what happens. I will keep my eyes and ears open. From a business point of view, it makes sense for City to sell. Raheem Sterling doesn't want to leave this summer. He wants to leave next summer for free so he can go abroad. If I were Manchester City, I'd be trying to drum up some interest from some teams outside of the Premier League and see if we could get a sale and get some money made there for Raheem Sterling. But I've got a feeling this might go on all summer, particularly if there's no new contract signed for him, for Gabriel Jesus. Mahrez, I'm not hearing too much on either. I'll keep my eyes and ears open for all of these transfers. So if you want to stay up to date every single day with the latest Manchester City transfer news, make sure you have subscribed. Press that red button, press the bell and put your push notifications on. You want to be notified immediately for when I do upload, so you can stay up to date every single day, first and fast, with the latest Manchester City transfer news. 25k subscribers is the aim, now less than 800 subscribers away from that goal. Also, don't forget as well to leave a thumbs up if you do enjoy this video. 500 likes is the aim. Any help towards that would be much appreciated. Let me know your thoughts, what you made of these transfers, the Raheem Sterling situation. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What would you do if you was in charge at Manchester City? Would you be selling this summer, forcing him to move, keep him for another summer and let him leave for free? What would you do? Let me know in the comments below. Also, don't forget as well, social media links, they're in the description below and sliding across at the bottom of the screen. If you want to go and follow me on my Twitter and Instagram, my email also in the description below too. If you want to hit me up for any sponsorships or any videos or any general business enquiries. And lastly, go and check out today's video sponsor, which is brought to you by OneFootball. Link is in the description, and also you can check that out in the comments as well, where you can just press my link. That will take you to the download page to download the free OneFootball. That OneFootball will keep you up to date with all the latest football news and transfer news with Manchester City and every other club around Europe as well. Great app to go and get. It's free. Go and get that. It does help support the future content downloading OneFootball using my link. So anyone that does that does help support the future content created here on my channel, and it keeps these videos coming for you guys. And I'll see you again tomorrow for the next daily Manchester City transfer update. Might be a little bit later into the day, but do stay tuned for that. I will promise to have that out for you guys, so I'll see you then. So I've been JSGC. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope everyone is safe and well. Peace. Ciao for now.